What's good with y'all, man? So yeah, that Kid Cudi SNL performance. People going crazy over it. Saying what they saying. And honestly, it shocked me because I'm like, damn, I thought everybody was praising Kid Cudi and saying how he saved their life or whatever, what have you. And just to see the disgust that people had for him wearing a dress, which was off white, by the way, it's just flabbergasting to me. I was just like, all right. Instantly, when you see it, like you do know he paying homage to Kurt Cobain. You know what I mean? Not to mention he had on the his T-shirt that damn, who is bro? Like damn, I cannot think of his name. But the other SNL alumni, that was dope. Pay homage to him as well. You know what I mean? Forgive me, I can't think of his name. I was thinking John Candy, but it's not. Chris Farley. You know what I mean? He had on Chris Farley joint. You know what I mean? And the green sweater and all that. But people seem to be going crazy over this dress shit. Yeah, and I know people brought up the Thug situation. You know what I'm saying? But the artwork for his Jeffrey project, Thug explained that, you know what I mean? And people believe what they believed or they didn't believe it. But the other picture where the nigga literally had on a little girl dress and he admitted that it was a little girl dress, that was kind of crazy. Like, I didn't understand that shit. And not to mention, most notably, how many actors we know of characters we love. Niggas love Martin with Shanae, right? Niggas grew up on that. You feel me? He literally went in a whole situation. You know what I mean? I don't care about being PC and shit like that, but I don't want to say that to offend people. But yeah, folks really went into the everything from the lipstick to the dressing, the wigs and weaving, all that shit. And then you think of Martin as well, where Big Mama. You think of Tyler Perry with Madea. That's a favorite character of his. So many other people. I mean, Eddie Murphy with Rasputia. So it's going throwback to Flip Wilson as well. A lot of y'all don't know who that is, but you know what I mean, do your homework. And that was a big thing in Hollywood where they were saying, why do most black men get put in a dress or whatever the case may be. And at the end of the day, that's their choices. But, I didn't see the performance, I'm going to tell you a story. I just seen it on Twitter like, oh, Cudi. As soon as I seen it, I knew it was Kurt Cobain because I remember that back in the day, in the 90s or whatever, when Kurt did that. And I was just like, all right, he just paying homage and shit. I didn't watch the performance, so I go ahead and I watch the performance, right? And I'm like, all right, he just doing his song, whatever the case may be, you know what I mean? But most people looked at it like, well, damn, at least Kurt had real clothes on under the dress or whatever the case may be. Cudi just up there with some fucking, you know what I mean, little straps and all that, you know what I mean? But it was off-white. And I guess that's cool. Now I think that he talked to Virgil and they got some like collection going down and it will be available. I mean, so hopefully the ladies will pick that dress up and rock it, you know what I mean? But I don't really want to see niggas in that shit. But I watched the performance and I was just like, it's not bad, it's not cool. Until the last ending of the goddamn performance, this nigga hits the curtsy. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you in elementary school and you doing like a play or some kind of performance or whatever the case may be, the gentleman or the little boy will always bow and the girl will hit the courtesy. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably saying it fucked up, but you get what I'm saying. And I was watching the SNL shit and I had no problem with it. And as soon as he did that shit, I said, oh, what the fuck, my nigga? What are you doing, bro? Like, you're not a female. That's what females do. You know what I'm saying? I could not understand that shit. I was cool with the performance and him rocking an off-white joint until he did that shit. Now, that's a little sus. That's a little weird. Because you're not a female. And I'm thinking in my head, what would make that nigga do that shit? You dig? And I get it. He been through a lot. He damn near committed suicide and all type of shit he been through. You know what I mean? From his old interviews where he said he had to do a few bumps just to deal with paparazzi and being in the public eye and everything. So he overcame all that. You know what I mean? And I'm quite sure he's secure in his sexuality to where he feels wearing a dress or whatever the case may be, he feels comfortable with it. You know what I mean? Not saying I will rock a dress, never, hell no. But I mean, I understand certain people do certain things. It ain't like we ain't seen no crazy shit in the last 10 years of music. We've seen some real crazy shit. You know what I mean? You got niggas like Lil Pump doing a whole fucking set of nails and Yachty painting nails. We've seen some crazy shit, bro. Like we really have though. And I mean, some people would say it's for agenda, pushing agenda. Some shit, yeah, when it comes to TVs and movies, they be pumping that shit and pushing that shit like on people, and that's not cool, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to discard anybody, but you know, that's their community. You know what I mean? And I feel like everybody, most people in this country has somebody in their family that's from that community. So I'm not knocking that shit whatsoever. You know what I mean? Everybody deserve happiness, love, and everybody should be able to be themselves. You know what I mean? So I'm not tripping off that. It's just I didn't understand when he hit the courtesy. You know what I mean? However you say it, courtesy, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand that part, and I was just like, what the fuck, bro? I was cool with the shit until you did that. You know what I mean? But if he's happy, you know, that's cool. You know what I mean? But we not just gonna sit here and ignore the shit. Like, yeah, you got a grill from Ben Baller, which is cool. It matched like your little outfits and all that shit you had on. That's cool and everything like that. But I feel like niggas ain't gonna press the issue. You know what I mean? When he get ready to gear up for his Netflix situation and the album and everything like that, they're not gonna ask the question. And that's where I be looking at these niggas like, yo, I want to ask and I want to understand. Besides the paying homage to Kurt Cobain, like what made you do that? Because Cudi never did no left shit like that. You know what I mean? Even back when Diddy and them niggas was wearing kilts or skirts or whatever the case may be, and ASAP had that long ass shit on talking about his fashion but look like a skirt and all that. So it ain't like we ain't never seen this shit, but it just for him, I've never seen Cudi do no shit like that. And so I just want these niggas, if you go interview them and ask them, like, you know what I mean, what was it beyond paying homage and shit? It's just like, yo, you had an idea, Virgil made the dress and you wore it, you know what I mean? So what does that signify? Like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? You being yourself, you being free, and that shit is cool, but I feel like it sends the wrong message to all the people that basically, excuse me, I had to burp, grew up on his music, and that basically he saved their life or whatever. You know what I mean? What kind of message is that you sending? I mean, because it's not cool, you know what I mean? Even when you was a little kid, not him, but anybody, you know, you don't really hop in your grandma's heels and shit like that. I mean, you a kid, whatever the case may be, but some of that shit ain't cool. Like, you know, your dad or granddad or uncle probably not slap shit out you, but like, yo, that's not cool, it's not funny. Like, you know, take that shit off. You know what I mean? It just depends on how you was raised. I was raised, that ain't cool. You know, a man supposed to be the woman. And I'm not knocking nobody. Like I said, I love everybody, no matter what you are. You can be a fucking pet rock, and, you know, I still got love for you. So I'm not really on it like that. I just didn't understand the move at the end of the performance. That's the only thing that threw me off. Like, all right, you know what I mean? Come on. I mean, nigga had no dress on, whatever. You know what I mean? And then niggas was cracking jokes on Twitter and shit. Like, if you gonna wear a dress, make sure it's some fly shit. The way niggas go crazy for some off-white shit, yeah. I mean, I guess in his eyes, it was a fly dress. You dig? So, I don't know. I just thought that shit was just like, it's Cudi being Cudi. I didn't even know the nigga was performing on SNL or none of that shit. You know what I mean? I just was on Twitter and seeing it shit like, oh shit. I mean, it's not a big deal, you dig? I mean, every week it seemed like we get something new. Last week, it was the Lil Nas X sneaker situation with the devil and all that shit. This week is this. So next week it'll be something else. It's just that, I don't know. Everybody gonna look at it and bash the nigga and say hateful shit. But at the end of the day, you motherfuckers still gonna talk about the shit. Y'all still gonna try to get them views and everything like that. And I'm not doing it for views. I don't care about views. It's just that I just had something to say about the situation, and it's like, if that's what he want to do, that's cool, you know what I mean? But if he's happy, then shit, everybody else is mind their fucking business. Like I always say, if you don't care about something, you don't gotta talk about it. You know what I mean? Not that I care, but I'm not talking about it because I care. It's just that I just didn't understand why he did the last thing at the end of the performance. That shit was like, what the fuck, bro? Like, that's crazy. You're a male, you're not a female. Females do that shit. Shit, that shit was crazy though. But other than that, I like the song. You know what I mean? I don't know how many motherfuckers actually went back to Man on the Moon 3 and listened to it. It's been a minute. You know what I mean? I would think that them numbers would go up, but I guess not. Not saying he did it for clout and everything like that. And there's a lot of other shit that I be seeing. Motherfuckers be, you know, doing shit for clout and everything, and it's weird. You know what I mean? So I don't look at it like he did it for clout. He don't need it. He Cudi, you know, at the end of the day. But that little move at the end just threw me for a fucking loop. But yeah, so what y'all think about it? You know what I mean? What y'all got to say about it? I know everybody that's on this side is like, fuck that, that's weird, that's gay, da-da-da-da. You know, certain words you ain't supposed to use because of PC, so I won't say them, but that's that. And then on the other side, people are supportive, you know. It's him, it's his world. he doing what he doing to make himself happy. If that makes him happy, that's cool. You know what I mean? So it's like, it ain't no judging no shit like that. Cause we see a lot of bullshit that go on. You know what I mean? Especially on YouTube. I didn't see niggas on this motherfucking platform talking to, let's just say, new females. They're was once this, but then now they're female. You know what I mean? The little younger generation. And it's like, I don't know what's going on with the younger generation. 19, 20-year-olds, these YouTubers or whoever the fuck they're supposed to be. But it's like, when the fuck did that become cool? I mean, you respect and, love people for who they are, but it's like, are y'all doing that shit for attention? Because that shit, you know what I mean? It's crazy, bro. Like, YouTube recommended some crazy shit, and it's just like, yo, that's insane. You know what I mean? But I don't want to get all into that. You know how motherfuckers be. But long as people are them genuine selves and they know who they are and they love themselves, we shouldn't judge nobody. Let people be who they are. You know what I mean? Love everybody for everybody. You dig? But I don't know. Cudi is Cudi. I just can't wait for this new album whenever he's supposed to drop it. I think it's supposed to coincide with a Netflix special or some shit that he got going on, so I definitely can't wait for that. But I thought that was crazy. And we all love Playboi Carti, and we can't act like that virtual concert didn't happen. We can't act like some of these pictures we be seeing didn't happen. It is, but at the end of the day, it's like, is that really what you choose to do, or are you doing it for attention? Because we know that the blog's gonna get it, Twitter gonna have this shit trending. It's just like, don't really do shit for clout. Do it because you believe in that shit. You know what I mean? Because some of these niggas be doing some such shit for real, and I don't understand that shit. It's like, you can't really be like that. You doing that shit for attention, but it's like, think 10 years from now. Like, you really gonna, you know what I mean? They gonna remember that shit. And I feel like some of the shit that these niggas is doing is gonna hurt them down the line. I think Jaden Smith is incredible, but we all remember the Louis Vuitton deal. If you don't know what that is, go Google it. You know what I mean? And people still praise and admire and, love his music. And I think he's a great artist. You know what I mean? But when he did what he did with the Louis Vuitton deal, he did what he did. I mean, it's $10 million. Not saying I would do no shit like that, but he did what he did. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Don't point the finger and judge people. Look at yourself and judge yourself before you judge others. You know what I mean? But y'all let me know what y'all thought about the Cudi situation, how y'all feel about it. You know what I mean? If you watched or listened to this, I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Support the channel. Y'all know how to do that. It is what it is, though. I'ma holla at y'all. One.